Mm-mm. I need y'all to get dressed because I take down people work. Hello, 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 hello. Go. I'm about to go live. Sorry, Charlie.
Oh, you're
Pick it
about to
up.
go live on TV?
No, right here. Hey, right here. Hey guys, what's going on? Enjoying my little yellowish screen going on here. What's popping? Just checking in and see how everyone is doing in light of a very traumatic weekend, traumatic holiday weekend. We had a lot of things going on, quite a few things going on from some of the states opening back up to people adjusting to a new way of life with the COVID pandemic and with the Central Park situation with the young lady calling the police saying that a black man was attacking her when in fact all he was asking her to do was to abide by the law and leash her dog. And because she didn't want to leash her dog, she filed a false police report and said that she was being attacked by a black man. Now, hey, sweetie, how are you, babe? It's good to see you in my live, sugar. What's up? And then we have another situation with the Minneapolis um, police choking out um, and killing, murdering a go please a 42-year-old man. Girl, listen, people have lost their minds. Period. Um, by kneeling on his neck and the man crying for his mom, crying out for his mother because he knew he was dying. And they choked him out by the police officer choked him out by kneeling on his neck. Not one, two, three, four, five, six, 7, 8, 9 minutes. 9 minutes. That police officer kneeled on that man's neck, which is beyond excessive force. It's far beyond excessive force. First of all, it is really unnecessary to kneel to on someone's neck, actual neck, to subdue them. You can kneel on beneath between the shoulder blades or whatever. I don't know who's training these people, but the way that they're being trained is far beyond acceptable. I'm sorry, far beyond acceptable. So, with that being said, this man was suffocated and 9 times out of 10 suffered a heart attack after being suffocated. His heart stopped, abruptly stopped after being suffocated. Um, the crazy part about it was there are videos and pictures that are continuously coming in, and not only were there uh uh other police officers, Kaya, I'm blogging. There are other police officers that were kneeling on this man's body. There were up to 3 at one time kneeling on this man, and he was in handcuffs. And at some point, the officer that was kneeling on his neck got up, saw that the man was lifeless, and he went back and kneeled back on his neck. At that point, the man was unconscious. He was laying there lifeless, foaming at the mouth. And he continued to go back and to kneel on his neck. There were people around them saying, please, he can't breathe. Have some humanity. You have him in handcuffs. Just come off of his neck. Let him, he's having a hard time breathing. They did not transport that man to the hospital until after he was already dead. And the only reason why there was any backlash is because the videos are continuously coming. Now, these 4 police officers have been fired, but far more than being fired, they need to be prosecuted. They need to be prosecuted. Then it turns out that the main one that had the foot on the neck is a white supremacist. I'm not surprised. He has on a MAGA hat that says "Make America White Again." Make white America great again. On his personal Facebook page. See, and the thing about it is, when you have this idiotic orange leader, Agent Orange number 45, sitting up here telling the police officers, don't feel bad about arresting people. You just go ahead and put your head over their hand over their head and put them on in the car, making light of it while he's backed by a bunch of white police officers and they're laughing. They make it a joke. But then you have a young white lady in a grocery store that gets upset because somebody's going down the wrong aisle the wrong way, not following the arrows in the floor, unbeknownst to them. They didn't recognize the symbols in the floor. So she takes off her mask and spit in his face. She's charged with a misdemeanor. She should have been charged with battery, assault, and attempted murder. Because I don't know if she's been exposed to COVID or not. And her spit could have killed a person. And that's just unnecessary. Yes, that's exactly what I believe. Straight to hell with all of them. Because you know what? At some point in time, you can be good friends with anybody. You can be good friends with a white person. You can be good friends with an Asian person. You can be good friends with a black person. You can be good friends with a whole lot of people. But guess what? Guess what? Ain't nobody gonna know what it's like to be black unless they walked around black for a lifetime. I was born in Indiana. I was raised in a upper middle class neighborhood, and we were the only black family in the neighborhood. So you know what that meant. All of my friends in the neighborhood were white, and we rode bikes together. We took long strolls together. They ate fried chicken at my table. We threw frisbees together. I went over to their little family fireworks and next door and this that, and the other. But guess what? I was never invited to sit at their table to eat. And when other friends rode in the car, I rode in the back seat by myself while they crowded in the front because nobody wanted to sit next to the black girl in the back. And far beyond that, go in there and talk. And far beyond that, one of my friends started dating a guy, and we rode to school together in her car, and she told me that her white boyfriend didn't want me in her car anymore. So she left me to find another way to school, and our school was like 5 miles away. And there was no busing in that area at the time. So because pretty much everybody in my neighborhood, they were wealthy, they had cars. So I had to fend for myself and try to find a way. Fortunately enough, my mother was able to talk to the school board and get the bus to pick me up. And that's how I ended up getting back and forth to school. But there were limits. We were only my friend at home. I was only their friend at home. And sometimes we would go and take walks, and I walk home from school with some of them, meet them halfway because they went to the parochial schools, and I went to public schools. So I meet them halfway. We walk the rest of the way home. I got people throwing stuff at me, spitting, white guys throwing stuff at me, spitting at me, calling me all kind of nigger and this, that, and the other. And nobody understood. My friends would just felt bad for me, and they would try to cheer me up the rest of the way home. But they wouldn't even respond to it until the people were way out of sight because they were afraid, and they would walk far ahead of me to let them know that they weren't with me. But I know they were afraid. But when it came down to it, there was a line to be drawn. You only go so far, and that's that. So nobody knows what it's like to be in black skin unless you're born in it. You can put on blackface, you can put on a fat suit, you can put on whatever you want to do to make makeup, however, and make it appear that you are black and do an experiment. But you only doing that for a short amount of time. Try living that way. Try having a black baby and celebrating the birth of that black baby boy. And then when he starts to turn 5 and 6, you having to tell him to watch himself, watch the way you talk. And then when he gets to become a young teenager, you have to tell him how to control himself and how to maintain himself if he comes in contact with the police. And then when he becomes a teenager and he's driving, you become afraid to let him go out of the house because you don't know if he's going to make it home at the end of the day. If not becoming a statistic of your neighborhood, then becoming another statistic of police. I don't say that all police are bad, but I say that something has to be done about the bad ones. And come on now. They know what's going on in those departments. They know exactly what's going on in those departments. When they team these people up, they team them up with the best suits for them. They are not going to team up somebody that is extremely prejudiced with somebody who is extremely a black activist. They're not going to do that because they know opposites don't attract. They're not going to work well together. But you turn around and let somebody try to stand up for the rights of an African American, and we get talked down, and they may belittle it. But you let a white person argue with the police about he ain't getting out of his car and he ain't doing this, and they talk him down, give him chance after chance. You see them fighting police, and police never pull a gun on them, never shoot them. But here we got this man who passed a fake $20 bill, and he's dead because of it. A fake $20 bill, really? Really? They said forgery. Okay, call it what you want, whatever the legal term is in Minnesota for passing a counterfeit 20. That's what he was going for. He was in handcuffs. They were dragging him around. The next day, you know, he's on the ground being choked out by three cops and one looking out. People all around him begging. This man calling for his mother. Mama. Can you imagine your child calling for you and you are nowhere near that person to be able to help them? Can you imagine a mother having to look on? And then we have a 68-year-old woman, 68-year-old black woman, and her adult son in a Sam's Club being wrongfully accused of stealing a TV. And they wrestled this woman to the ground, a 68-year-old woman, and beat her. And they beat her son. This woman has a fractured back, tailbone, and everything. And her son has concussions and multiple injuries from being suspected of stealing a TV that they didn't even steal. When is it going to stop? The only thing that's different about our progress from 400 years ago, y'all, is that we are no longer on plantations, but we're still enslaved. We're no longer on the cotton fields having to pick cotton for massa, but we still enslaved. In the minds of all of the bigots, racists, we're still plantation niggas to them. That's exactly what we are. They're not, we're never going to get beyond that. Because in their minds, we're not worth the spit that they spat out when they spit in our faces and slept with our mothers, impregnated our sisters, when they hung our brothers and made us watch it. When we were the strange fruit that were hanging from the trees. Nothing has changed. And when we have someone in leadership that encourages their behavior by acting the same way, and so many people will support of them, including some of our token brothers and sisters that took the buyout, we're never going to get advanced. But the one thing we can do is we can come together, which is something that we have a problem doing. And you can say, all Asians, Mexicans, everybody can say that they are our brothers and our sisters. How many of them do you see marching at Black Lives Matter? You see a lot of white people marching, but you don't see any other brown people, any other yellow people. But a black person is born with compassion. Black mothers are born to be nurturers. So we love everybody. We pray for all of them. We forgive and we keep going. But we'll never be vindicated. But if we could come together and love each other and stick together, there's strength in numbers. But we can't stop killing each other. And the biggest thing that the white racists or supremacists enjoy is to see another black man dying, whether it's by the hand of their own or by our own hands. They enjoy it. Because to them, it's just another nigga dead. I don't care how intelligent you are, how educated you are, how articulate you may be. You're still a nigga to them. I don't have a nigga mentality, but in the mentality of others, I'm a nigga. It's very hurtful and it's very offensive. And I'm really angry about it. I'm hurt about it because I have grandsons. I have sons. But more than just for my sons, I worry about my grandsons. Because as times progress, it gets worse. Now you have judges that will send a black man away for 37 years for a crime he didn't commit because he didn't get justice in the courtroom. But you turn around and you don't get justice for a white racist cop that killed a black man, or the judge comes out of the off of behind her bench and hugs the police officer that's just been convicted of killing a black man in his own apartment. And she comes off the bench and hugs her after she's been convicted of killing a brother in his own place. And he posed no threat. sitting on his own couch eating a bowl of ice cream, and he died. A worship leader, a man raised in the church, successful young man. Just like I said, I don't have a nigga mentality, but in the minds of them, we still niggas. It's getting old. It's getting old. We can't even protest without being gassed, bombs sprayed. We can't be angry. What do you expect? What do you expect? The world just saw a murder of one of our own. And there's nothing we can do. They get fired, but they're still feeding their kids. They're still walking around. So they're going to call the same unemployment line we calling. And they just committed a murder. No, it's not fair. It's not fair. Right is not right. Right is, uh, no, wrong is just wrong. Wrong is just wrong. This thing got me broken. It's not fair. No, Miss Aug, it's not fair. It's not fair. It's hurtful. And it makes us sit back in our chair. Just lean back and think, will we ever be free? Sure, if you have a certain amount of money, you can experience certain types of freedom, but you never know. If there was a pick out of the crowd, the color of your skin can be the death of you. The color of your skin could be the death of you. And it's just not fair. It's scary. And we don't have the Malcolm X's and the Martin Luther Kings and the people that are marching, standing up on the front line, so to speak. But we have people out there that are trying, that are doing their darndest. But the platform is different now. And you got a lot of young people saying, if it don't happen to me, I'm not going to touch it. If it don't happen to, get out, get out, get out, get out, get out. If it doesn't happen to me, then it's not my. If it doesn't happen to me, it's not my business. I'm going to ignore it. I'm going to drive by and keep going. I'm not going to stand up. They rather believe it's not happening. They rather think about it, it'll go away, but it's not going anywhere. And if you don't stand for something, you're going to fall for anything, literally. And when I mean fall, I mean die. I guess I'm off my soapbox, y'all. See something, say something, do something. Do something. Exactly. See something, say something, and do something. All of those people that were around. And I don't know if it was more out of a respect for the law or fear. But I think I probably would have unfortunately been one of those ones who probably would have died that day because I can't sit. I just can't do it. I can't sit and watch someone be killed and not do anything. And I think that's why my children are so opposed to me being the way that I am because I am a very boisterous person and I believe in right and equality. Now, I'm not a prejudiced individual, but I don't want to be bigoted against either. But I probably would have died that day. Not that I would have said, well, let me go in here and die. But I would, my instinct would have been like, that's somebody's baby. That's not right. That's overdoing it. And there that young man lied lifeless. He let up. It's like he got up to look down at him and looked at him and saw him lifeless and went right back to it. There was no, I mean, oh, it's disturbing. The video is disturbing to watch, and the more that the footage comes in, it's even more difficult. And now that we have found that he was a what Steven Jackson from the NBA is calling his twin, his brother. And now we find that it has a tie to the NBA or to someone in an NBA player. Now it's going to probably be that much more high profiled. And yeah, it's just not right. I don't care. You know, you have yeah, I can't watch it anymore. And you have the little Dylan boy that went down and shot up a church and killed all these people in the church. And they stopped him at Burger King to get him something to eat because he was hungry. They stopped him at Burger King. Where they do that at? So, you know what I'm saying? We don't get a chance to go to the real joint before they choke us out, before they hang us, before they tie us to backs of the cars and drag us. When they tore us from our mama's breasts and sold us to the next individual, we didn't get opportunities to stop and get something to eat. We had to do what we had to do. We were beaten and told and so wrong. Worked from sun up to sundown. On the scraps to eat the parts of the hog that they didn't want. The mush until we learned how to make meals out of that pig fat and grits and cornbread. But then it became, oh, y'all eating the wrong foods. Y'all eating all this bad stuff for you. Y'all came up on grandmama's pig feeding. Well, that's all we were given. That's all we grew up on. That's what we knew. We didn't grow up on crab legs and steak, bro. Not when we were in our younger years. You know, when we got older and got good jobs and started living a little better, we were able to try this and try that. But we came up on beans and ham hock, peas and rice and peas. Things of that nature, you know. But I just wanted to check in check and see how everyone was doing, how you guys are handling this news. Just tell you to stay safe, be careful, cover yourselves up, don't fall for the okey doke. Don't fall for the okey doke. So whoever started the rumor that black people couldn't get COVID-19 lied to you. And now more black people are dying than anybody. And the first thing they do is open up the black cities, open up the hair salons, the nail salons, and then they parade, right? Then they give them a little extra stimulus money to spend. And then they go right on back and party. And then the only thing that the white people want to do is hang out on the strip, hang on the water in the bars. No masks, no social distancing. And then the first one they interview out of all the pretty white faces, the first interview they a black person with three teeth and a hat turned to the side, saying, "If I get it, I get it. Everybody else gonna get it too." What a way to think. What a way to think. That's that you heard somebody else say it and you think it was cute, so you're gonna repeat it. You sound stupid. And that's just what they want. Donald Trump could care less. He could care less about people. People. Poor people. Period. He could care less. You go out there and spend your money and drop dead right in front at the Trump Towers and drop dead in front of it. He'll step right over you and keep on going. Oh, well, it's another dead one. Scoop him up. Scoop him up. Put his head on a platter. Let me take a picture next to it. It's a shame, but it's true. Okay, guys, it's good talk. Thank you, Miss Hall, for coming in and spending some time with me and whoever else is in here came through. I appreciate you. And if you're watching the replay, don't forget to like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. I appreciate everyone for coming in. And I had to get ready to take this child of mine to work. And my grandkids crying hungry again. But it's like hungry is a thought to them. It's not it's just something to say, I believe. Because it's like every 5 minutes, I'm hungry. I'm hungry. I'm hungry. Can I have? Can I? No. Let's go run around the block a few times. Be all right. Drink some water and run outside around the block. I told my grandson yesterday he needed some diet water and a salad. He was like, some what? Some diet water and a salad. Some what? Diet water? We don't have no salad. I was like, boy, you're a little greedy, but right. And then right, yeah, water is already diet cake. It has no calories or anything. But the thing is about my grandson, he's 5, but ever since he's been like 2, he's been eating. He don't eat regular happy meals. He eats the big kids meals. Like he eats big food. Like he can eat a whole cheese pizza by himself, and he's 5. He's 5. I won't let him do it. If you see this look on his face right now, I'm not buying pizza, bro. No, you better go in there and get some air pudding and walk away pie.
I got
You got what? Okay, guys, I love you on purpose. Ain't nothing you can do about it. I'll probably be back a little bit later. I said I'm gonna start coming on a little bit more often.
Tanya,
Tanya,
feed us?
Tanya, my girl Tanya from the hood table, and that's telling me, Sis-Lo, you need to get back on your page and do your streams. Get back, get back. I'm gonna get back to it. But I'll talk to y'all soon. I love you on purpose. Have a blessed day. Don't forget, cover up. Put your mask on. Take care of yourself. Don't fall for the okie doke.
Pray.
Pray before you lay and pray to start the day. That's why we pray to start the day. Pray to start the day. Pray to start the day. You gotta pray to start the day. Pray to start the day. Pray to start the day. Pray. That's a song I made up with my grandkid.
Yeah, she's beautiful.
Oh boy, you ain't getting no pizza. I don't care what you say. Pick that up. Okay, y'all. Talk to you soon.
Grandma, I'm hungry.
Didn't I just say he was gonna say that? Didn't I just say that? I'm hungry. I'm hungry. Grandma, I'm hungry. That's all he said. I don't know if he know any other terminology. Didn't you just eat a sandwich? Didn't you have a popsicle? Did you have a piece of fruit? Where there's a whole bowl of fruit I already washed off. Apples and stuff.
I mean, real.
What you mean real fruit?
Like,
I cut up cantaloupe, pineapples, all of that. Y'all ate it all. There is no more.
no, I mean, real. Stay.
Real food. Toodles got get back to work, baby. Love you on purpose. What's real food?
He said like steak. Like
Steak? What kind of steak?
I mean,
American.
no, English.
English. That's a roast. English cut is roast. And what you know about that? Now that's fat right there. When you 5 and know that an English cut is a roast, that's fat. The devil. Now, why you want to put the devil in this? The devil ain't even mess with you.
At my grandma's house, we was watching Charles too, and then we watched the chunky guy, and we were like, "That's my daddy." I want the devil to get his daddy. He don't feel anything. Yeah, Grandma, because you said he wants the devil to get the coronavirus so he could die.
Well, that would be good if that could happen.
Yeah, that would be so good. So we don't have to be a hard life.
No, the devil could.
And then I wish someone could have a gun so they can shoot the devil and then we just don't know. We can't.
Wait a minute. You said.
Look, we can't see the devil because it's in the ground, and we.
You guys have a very respectful insight on this issue here.
And the outside, I want the devil to die. In the inside, oh God. Okay, let me on purpose. There's nothing you can do about peace.
Okay, you want the devil to die. You want God to stay alive on the inside.
Yes.
Okay, let me say. You said you wanted the devil to get the coronavirus and die.
Yeah.
And that was, and then you said you wish you had a gun to shoot the devil so he can die.
Yeah, and then I
so you wouldn't have to worry about
throw him off of Earth, and then he's gonna be like, I'm gonna go.
Okay. All right.
And then the devil just died.
And you want God to stay alive and live inside of us.
God died for us.
Jesus died for us, yes, but he got up, right?
But why did he die?
Well, we have to go through that story. I'll tell you about that another time. But yeah, he was killed unjustly because actually he was killed for no reason.
Why?
He was killed to please other people.
Now you don't want to talk about it. You don't want to talk about it. Maddie already learned that.
Okay.
Later
they want me to preach a whole sermon on.
Now you will not want to know that.
Okay, y'all. Let me get off here before y'all start hearing them really. I'm gonna have to let them do their own thing because.
That's what I said. I was just about to say that. We should do Katie Doesn't Lie.
Katie Doesn't Lie.
Yes, later. Katie Doesn't Lie.
Katie Doesn't Lie.
I thought she said Kaylee is alive.
Yeah, Kaylee does alive.
Because if she died, we got some
okay, y'all.
serious issues.
Kaylee does alive on her own channel, not mine. This channel ain't for kids. Okay, see y'all later. Love you.
We got some serious issues in Fairly and Alive.
I'm hungry.